For 4 years, her manager told her she was exceptional, signed every review, wrote every commendation. Then she applied for a senior role somewhere else and didn't get it. She found out why 6 weeks later. He had given her a reference, just not the one he gave her to her face. She didn't confront him. She didn't need to. She had 4 years of his own words, in writing, with his signature. Claire was a senior marketing strategist, 38 years old, 11 years in the industry, 4 of them at the same mid-sized agency under a director named Marcus. By every measurable standard, she was one of the strongest performers on his team. 4 consecutive years of top-tier performance reviews, all written and signed by Marcus himself. 2 internal awards for campaign excellence, both nominated by Marcus. A client retention rate her colleagues consistently cited as the benchmark. When a head of strategy role opened at a larger firm across the city, Claire was the obvious candidate. She applied. She made it to final round. Then she didn't get the offer. The recruiter said only that another candidate had been selected. Claire accepted it and moved on. For 6 weeks. Then a former colleague, someone who had moved to the hiring firm a year earlier, reached out over coffee. She was uncomfortable, clearly. She had heard something through the hiring team and felt Claire needed to know. The reference Marcus had given was damaging. Not dramatically, carefully. The kind of reference that doesn't raise flags on its own, but quietly poisons a decision. He had described Claire as someone who struggled with leadership at scale and had difficulty adapting to change. 4 words that contradicted 4 years of documented evidence, and that he had never once said to her face. Claire went home that evening and pulled out every performance review Marcus had ever written for her. She read them in order, year 1 through year 4. Words like exceptional strategic instincts, remarkable ability to lead teams through complex change, one of the most adaptable senior strategists I have managed in 15 years. His handwriting, his signature, on official company letterhead. She laid them out across her kitchen table and photographed each one. Then she opened a new document and started writing. She spent 2 weeks building her file. Every review, every commendation, both award nominations, with his written endorsements attached. A timeline showing the gap between what he had documented in writing over 4 years and what he had reportedly said in the reference. She also quietly reached out to 2 other former colleagues who had left the agency in the past 18 months. Both had applied for external roles. Both had been passed over after strong final round performances. Neither had known why, until now. Claire added their accounts, with their permission, to the file. Then she identified the right person to send it to. Before I tell you exactly what Claire sent and where she sent it, if you're new here, this is where stories like this live. Workplace betrayal, quiet strategy, and the satisfaction of watching someone's own words come back to them. Hit subscribe so you never miss one. Now, back to Claire. Marcus sat on the board of a professional marketing association, an industry body that had a formal code of conduct covering professional references. Claire sent her complete file to the association's ethics committee, not to his company directly, not to HR, to the external body that governed his professional standing. She included a cover letter that was 3 paragraphs long, completely factual, and cited every document by date. She didn't accuse, she didn't editorialize. She simply asked the committee to consider whether the documented record was consistent with the reference reportedly given. Then she closed her laptop and went to bed. She heard nothing for 3 weeks. Then her former colleague, the one who had told her about the reference, sent her a message. Marcus had been contacted by the association. A formal review had been opened. He had been asked to provide his own documentation. He had been very quiet in the office. Claire read the message, replied with a single word, "Good," and went back to her work. 3 weeks after that, a competitor firm reached out to Claire directly. They had heard she might be open to a move. The head of strategy role they offered was senior to the one she had originally applied for. Better title, better team, significantly better compensation. She accepted on a Thursday afternoon. On Friday morning, she handed in her notice. Marcus received it in silence. He didn't say a word. He didn't need to. They both knew exactly what the file had contained. Claire cleared her desk, said goodbye to the colleagues she liked, and walked out of the building for the last time without looking back.
Claire never raised her voice, never sent a single angry message, never confronted Marcus directly. She simply collected what already existed. His own words, his own signature, 4 years of documented truth, and put them somewhere they couldn't be ignored. The association's review found that his reference was inconsistent with his documented record and in breach of professional conduct guidelines. His board membership was suspended. He never gave another professional reference without knowing that someone, somewhere, had kept receipts. What would you have done? Confronted him directly, or let the documents do the talking? Drop your answer below. I read every single one. The next story drops next Saturday. She found a message on her boyfriend's phone. It was addressed to her. It was a breakup message. It was 6 months old, and he had never sent it. He was still there, still beside her every morning, still the person she called when things were hard. She spent 3 days trying to understand why he wrote it, why he stayed, and what it meant that she only found out by accident. When she finally asked him, his answer was not what she expected. And I promise you, this one is going to stay with you. If you're new here, hit subscribe. New stories every Saturday. The drama you can't look away from.